Hi! Welcome back to the Trust Your Worth podcast, the podcast that helps you tap into the power of knowing your worth. My name is Brittany, and thank you so much for joining me today. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're able to do some awesome healing. Last week, we talked about how painful the healing process could actually be and how that's important for being able to move forward. So if you feel like you're struggling with healing and just want a little more insight on that, check out season 3, episode 3. But today we are talking about becoming a doer, getting things done, and how this helps you get to your dream life faster, but also helps you create this self-confidence and self-trust, and helps you to remember your worth more. So let's get into all that on today's episode. Is anyone a fan of Oh Mary? I'm a huge fan. I did not see Titus play Miss Mary, but if you're wondering what my shirt is, it's from the play Oh Mary. And if you can't see me, I am wearing a shirt that has Titus from The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. His name in real life is also Titus. And he played the titular character of Mary in the play Oh Mary on Broadway for a little bit. So this is the shirt I got from the play because the one I wanted was not there, so I picked this one. Anyways, I am talking about Miss Oh Mary because Oh Mary burst into the scene last year and became a huge Broadway hit. And as you know, success does not happen overnight. So Oh Mary was originally written by Cole Escola, who's a non-binary performer, comedian, actor extraordinaire, an amazing writer. This is one of the funniest plays I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I genuinely have never laughed so hard, and I'm so grateful that Cole decided to become a doer, decided to put their thoughts in action and create this amazing play. So I just heard it's going on tour. It's not coming here to Canada yet because it's super fresh. Like, it only came out in 2024 when they won the award for best writing on the show, if I believe, like best script. They didn't win best play, which I believe they should have that year, but a Tony Award, if you don't know. Those are like the Oscars, but for Broadway plays and musicals. But I was crying laughing. And like I said, I'm so grateful that Cole decided to create this beautiful art. So many things we have around us are because people became doers. If we even think of this camera and the advances we've had. I've been through a million cameras over my life, and I cannot believe that my tiny camera that's facing me right now, this Sony ZV camera, has higher quality image than my like $10,000 camera from back when I was in film school. If you didn't know, I was in film school for a little bit in Utah because I thought I was going to be a filmmaker. And when I look back on my life and the amazing things that I've gotten to do because I've just taken my thoughts from dreams into action as quickly as I can. Wow, I've gotten to do so many things. I've been a dancer. I went on tour to Mexico. I've been on some amazing trips, especially last year. I got to do New York again and Prince Edward Island, which I've talked before. I absolutely love that magical place. I'm trying my best to create the dream vacation of New Zealand this year. It's taking a lot of work. But I know it's going to be worth it. Oh yeah, I made a whole YouTube show, like a mini series, and that was a dream come true. Because like I said, I thought I was going to be a filmmaker. And I just tried it and I went for it and I convinced a bunch of people to help me and believe in my dream. And we made that show happen. If you want to watch it, it's called My Latter-day Life. It's still on there. I haven't really checked its status. And if you want to see me and the show that I made, you can check that out. But yeah, I've become an actual like filmmaker for a little bit and then realized that that wasn't the life for me. So like my life I've had so many dreams and a lot of them have come true. I think there's kind of only two, besides like places in the world to see, because like New Zealand's high on my list. I want to go to all the Disneylands in the world. So like Shanghai, Tokyo, Florida. I've been blessed to go to California many times. Yeah, and then see all the Harry Potter stuff. I'm a big nerd. If you didn't know, if you couldn't tell by some of my episodes, yeah, I just want to do all the nerdy things. All Pride and Prejudice. I need to see Pride and Prejudice, the 2005 version, at Pemberley one day. So like I have a lot of traveling dreams. The amount of times I've been able to go on trips and I had no idea if I was going to be able to. Basically, I've had to do it instead. I just believed that I could, and then just like I bought just the plane ticket and was like, well, the plane ticket is bought. I don't know where I'm going to stay, but like, I guess I'm going now. And then later I was able to figure out, okay, where am I staying? And then even later I figured out what I wanted to do there. It's just because I was like, no, I just tried. I just went after it and then figured it out along the way. That's kind of the most doer thing that people do. People who get stuff done, they just like try. But besides those, I think one of the dreams that I still have in me is to create an album of music, make this podcast my job, and sing with an orchestra one day. Oh, and concert, like I have to see the Spice Girls. If they are on tour anytime in the future, they're my only concert regret. I must see the Spice Girls. All this to say that because I just go out and try it, my life has been full of so many amazing, cool things that I've gotten to experience. And I would consider my life very successful. And I want to talk about this quote that just blasted into my consciousness from Instagram, which, as you know, if you listen, I get a lot of these ideas from. But this one was like, oh, right. Yes, so it's about success, but really it's about closing the gap between thought and to action, and how that can create success, and how becoming a doer actually helps us to create the lives we want. It helps us to find purpose and have joy. That's what I want for you, to feel like you have a purpose and that you have joy. So I'm going to read, it's a long one. I'm going to link the video in the show notes. And I do not know who actually quoted, because they did not quote who quoted it, but you may have heard this already, but I liked a lot of the ideas that are shared in this. So I am just going to read it because I think it's important to get the points that they want to get across. So may I begin? Quote, "The distance between deciding and doing is the single most reliable predictor of whether your life will be extraordinary or ordinary. Not talent, not circumstance, not even the quality of your decisions, but how quickly you collapse the space between intention and reality. Think of this gap as a kind of friction coefficient on your existence. The smaller it is, the more of your internal force actually translates into external motion. When you can move from, I should do this, to physically doing it within hours instead of weeks, you're not just accomplishing more, you're operating in a fundamentally different mode of being, when your thoughts have immediate consequences on the world, where your inner life and outer life are in constant, tight conversation. This matters profoundly because success isn't really about outcomes, it's about iteration speed. The person who can decide and act in the same breath gets 10 attempts at something, while someone with a week-long gap between decision and execution gets 1. They fail faster, learn faster, course correct faster, and compound their advantages faster. More crucially, they remain in contact with reality. When your decisions meet the world, immediately you get immediate feedback about whether they were good decisions. You can't hide in comfortable delusions about what you would or could do because you're constantly discovering what you actually do. This brutal, liberating honesty with reality is what separates people who achieve extraordinary things from people who have extraordinary intentions. The ultimate insight is that shrinking this gap isn't just correlated with success. It might be the most honest definition of success we have, because what is success except proof that you actually lived according to your own values and vision, that you were who you said you were. Every moment between decision and action is a moment of self-betrayal, a small death where a possible version of you fails to be born. Close quote. Woo! That is so long. I'm so sorry. Thanks for sticking with me. And there's so much in there, and then we're going to break this down. So at the beginning, the number one predictor of success is not your talent. It's not where you came from, your past at all. It's how quickly you can collapse the space between your intentions and reality. So how quickly you have a thought, a dream, and you can turn it into reality. How quickly can you do that? Are you able to do that? Which is why it's so cool that when you start becoming a doer, oh man, you're going to be unstoppable. And this has a lot to do with self-trust, which we'll get into very soon. But another point that I want to bring up from this is I love this part, and it's about just going after, about acting. The person who can decide and act in the same breath gets 10 attempts, whereas someone who's been thinking about it a week only gets 1. And you fail faster. You know what works and what does work a lot more quickly when you're just trying to figure out by actually doing it than like thinking about it and not doing the thing. And then you're just like, it's been a week and you tried one thing and it didn't work. And then you're like, well, I give up. I tried. But did you? Did you really try? I don't think so. You could have had 10 tries before you got through that whole week in order to take steps toward this extraordinary life you want to take. So I love that how just trying it out can create so many things. It can create more self-belief. I love this idea that you get immediate feedback. You can know instantly if it's a good or bad decision, because if it works, it was a good decision. If it doesn't, you just know one way it didn't work. So you're like, okay, it doesn't mean it's like, I'm going to give up on this dream completely. No, we're just going to try again and see if that works. This can also be motivating because when you see things start to fall into place, it gives you more motivation to continue on the path that you have started yourself on. And it's so exciting. It's awesome to be a doer. And then at the end here where it talks about this might be the ultimate definition of success that we have, because, well, what is success except proof that you actually lived according to your own values and vision, that you were who you said you were. Close quote. I just love this because, wow, isn't that what we want? We want to know who our truest selves are. And when it comes to worth and knowing that we're worthy, the more we know the truth about ourselves, which is this universal truth that you are enough, always will be, no matter what you're doing, you're enough. It can help to motivate you and give you the confidence to act. When you know your worth isn't tied to results of the things that you're trying, it's a lot easier to lessen the stakes within all the beautiful things that you're trying, especially if you're trying to create art, if you're just trying to change your life. Like, it can seem overwhelming at times, but if you know and trust yourself, then you simply, just by knowing these 2 things, that you're worthy and that you can trust yourself, you're going to become a doer. Because what is stopping you from, there's nothing more in your way to stop you from creating the life that you want, from taking steps towards the life that you want. The only reason you don't get the life you want is because we may lose patience and we we give up. We start to doubt ourselves, and we start to believe that, no, we tried and we can have it. No, failure is just a tool. It just tells us we couldn't get it that way, so there's got to be another way we can get the life that we want. So there are definitely some things that we need to take into consideration. Becoming a doer is not about being busy for the sake of being busy. And people could say that could also be just a trauma response. Like if you grew up as a very independent person, like I've been single for so long, I've had to show up for myself a million times. So I trust myself because I have to. And I know that, and I have confidence in my abilities that the hyper independence has given me. I also know the difference between when I'm just being busy for the sake of being busy because I'm trying to like cope and not deal with emotions, and when I'm being busy because I know it's leading me towards a goal, towards a dream that I have. I can understand and see the difference between the two, because when I had the idea or the dream and I sat there and thought about it, I was in an emotionally regulated state. So good ideas that maybe you want to try, and it doesn't mean like you're going to do all of these ideas. Like we have a million ideas a day. Our brains are constantly giving us ideas. But real dreams that come from like, oh, how could I change my life? Like what are my personal goals and how can I reach them? Like what's going to fulfill me? What's going to give me joy and happiness? Like when the ideas come from those places, from the motivation of I'm trying to create this amazing life and these are the people I want with me. This is a way I can do it. Is it aligned with what my truest heart wants? That's going to bring me joy. Am I passionate about it? Is it going to be fulfilling? These are the kind of thoughts we're having, and hopefully we are in an emotionally regulated state when we are coming up with these ideas. Because like this also isn't about like just jumping headfirst into something without thinking about the consequences of it. No. If you want to be successful, you have to have a plan. Like you can't just go like jump into water without checking if it's safe. Like that's how you can get hurt. Like our minds and bodies have these built-in protections to keep us safe, but overthinking is not a protection. It comes from fear. So if you are an avid overthinker and you constantly doubt yourself and you're like, oh, but what if I'm bad at it? Or there's too many people already doing this thing that I want to do, so why would anybody listen to me? I'm afraid I'll be judged if I go after this, or all these fears that you may be having and doubts. Like, no, throw them out the window, stomp on them, bury them. Like, we don't want to live a life based on fear. We want to build a life based on love and joy and the truest your truest desires, and we don't want to move from a place of fear. So if there's anxiety, then it's probably just pointing out a fear that you might be having, and it probably just means you're lacking self-confidence. So that's one of the things that can prevent you from making the choice from thinking into reality quickly, is that you don't believe in yourself. So there are many episodes I would recommend if you have trouble believing in yourself and knowing that you have all the tools you need to make things happen. You can do it. If I can do it, someone who struggled with fear, someone like, especially when it came to impressing others and caring too much what others think of me, I just don't care anymore. It's so freeing to let that go. And I'm living for me, finally. I've had like giving fatigue. I'm over it. So I'm just so excited to move forward, and I trust myself. I know I can get things done because I've been getting things done my whole life, and I know you can too. So if you are feeling like you're unworthy of a big dream, stop that right now. You are worthy of your dreams. And if you need help knowing that, check out season 1, episode 1 and 2, and even season 3, episode 2. Those are about self-trust and knowing your worth. That's what this whole podcast is about. But if you need the basics on that, those are episodes that are going to help you get over this fear that you can't do it, because I know you can do it. Okay. Number 2, one of the things that might prevent you from taking action is you currently don't have the skills. Well, nobody said you couldn't learn them. You can literally learn to do anything. YouTube is an amazing resource that I turn to lots, especially when I'm learning new systems, or like I just want to learn something. I just like, how do you do this on YouTube? I just look it up. You can look it up. You can learn. You can literally take a class. If you want to change your life and become a jewelry maker, just take a class and start learning how to make jewelry. I follow this woman now who was in a career she didn't like at 40. She was like, I'm going to try voice acting. And now she's like an award-winning voice actor. And it's been a year. She's only been voice acting for a year, and she's already done like, I don't know, at least 10 to 15 books already. That's crazy. That's a lot of work. Actually, I think it's more like 20 in a year. Audiobooks are long, bro. No, but she didn't let the fear stop her. She was just like, I need a life change. I'm going to do it. It's never too late for you to change. Another important thing to remember is that exact point, that you can change at any time. Your goals and your desires can change, and there's nothing wrong with that. So if you feel like something isn't working, and for me, it wasn't, which is why I want to make this my career, and which is why this year I'm on season 3. I've done 100 episodes, and it has been a long road, and I haven't given up and I could, but I also find it so fulfilling. Like, I still continue to do this for free. And I would do it for free, but I do want a career change, which is why I'm trying to create more of a business side to this. So I'm trying to come up with products that you guys might like, just like motivational t-shirts and posters that you can buy to help support me so I can focus full time on this, because currently I'm a dental hygienist. And while, yes, it's been a great career, I will not lie. I did it for the money, and I'm so grateful for the life that it's afforded me. It's allowed me to pursue other passions and given me the opportunity to try things, because I don't have to worry about my monetary needs. And it does take a lot of my time, though, which is why I want to transition to a career where I can make money and also do what I'm more passionate about. I wouldn't say I'm like not dispassionate about dental hygiene. I think there's aspects of the job I love about it. I love that I get to help people and educate people. Like, people are so grateful when they understand why it's important to have clean teeth. Like, it really can change your health. It can change even how people interact with you. Like, if you got smelly breath, like, you might just need a teeth cleaning, because calculus stinks. Like, when you pop it off, it is not a pleasant smell. So if you feel like you got buildup, go get a cleaning from your hygienist, and it might help take the bad breath away. It helps you to be more healthy when you take care of your teeth. You only get one set of adult teeth. Like, I meet people who have implants and who have dentures, and it's like, it's sad to me, because if they had taken care of their teeth before, they wouldn't be in this struggle that they're having now, where like dentures are the worst. Like, I'm glad that we have the option of dentures, because like sometimes things are just out of people's control, but like you have to get them adjusted a lot. And like, just having your teeth when you're older is like an accomplishment. Like, all the patients that I see that have like their teeth, I'm like, yes, queens and kings. Like, thank goodness you have your own teeth. Like, it just makes your quality of life so much better. Sorry, I just went on a dental hygienist rant. I could go so much longer, but as I said, it's been a great career, but also it's been so hard on my body. Like, it's been, I'm coming up on year 8. My neck and my back are ruined. That's the other reason I want to change careers, is just my body is not handling it very well. I have tennis elbow that has not gone away. Like, my quality of life physically is just not happy with that job. So I want to have this job as a podcaster, because I can take it anywhere. I want to see the world while I podcast. And yeah, it's just a life change that I'm passionate and excited about. And I had to become a doer. I had to figure this out. I'm figuring out even now, like I just applied for a business license so I can start selling stuff on the website. There will be an announcement for the store. Technically, it's already up. You can see what's on there. But yeah, I'm still trying to put systems in place so I can create things of value for you that I hope bring joy and happiness to your life, and that can also support me in my dreams. So thank you for listening. Yeah, I just have had to learn how to do things. I never started a business before. I'm learning so much. I'm just figuring it out. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I know that I can figure it out, and that's what's so exciting. Another thing I want to emphasize too, while you're trying to become a doer, is to have built-in balance. I think this might just be like a North American thing to have this hustle culture, because I genuinely feel like I'm working 2 jobs just because I'm trying to change my career, and it's a butt ton of work, and some of it's enjoyable, some of it's not, but like my life would be easier if I only had one job. So I'm trying to create balance where I only do this podcast job. I try and get it done on my days, like my one day off in the week. And then I usually do like one other night to like get it done. And I've actually outsourced help. So I've hired someone to help me with my social media because I don't have the time to do it. So yeah, I'm figuring how to get the help I need, but that also allows me to create balance because I still have time to hang with my friends. Like I sometimes do what's called batch filming, where I'll film 2 or more episodes like at once. So all I have to do is edit them, so I'm not overwhelmed trying to get this done every week, which I've done in the past. I've gotten to cycles where I'm like, it's Friday night, the episode comes out. No, it's literally, I'm like, it's Saturday, the episode comes out today, and I'm spending the whole day just like trying to get the episode out. So that has changed, and it's exciting. But yeah, I think it's important when you become a doer and you start to close the gap that you also create time for balance. Okay, so don't be afraid. I think the ultimate point, though, is to not let fear keep you from trying. To just go for it. Because, like, you don't really need time. You just need to start, and you're going to figure it out along the way. There's a post I've seen often that's just a picture that just says, you don't have to make it look good, just put it out there. You can make it look good later. And I found that to be true in so many of my endeavors. Even when I think back on my YouTube show, I can't even watch episode 1 because I'm like, I hate there's so many things I want to change about it, and it was awful. I was learning how to get it done. While there were some great things about episode 1 and 2, but specifically, it's hard for me to watch it. It's painful for me to watch episode 1 because I want to change so many things about it. But when we got to episode 5, we knew what we were doing, and the processes got easier. So it just took time for us to learn, and for me to learn how to make it pretty. And so I'm really proud of the later episodes. Well, I'm proud of all of it, but more specifically, the later episodes, I think the look of the show, we finally figured out. Yeah, you just have to start. The other thing, too, is that you don't have to know all the steps. You probably won't know. You just have to take one step at a time. What's that beautiful song by Jordan Sparks? I sing this to my friends a lot because one step at a time, there's no need to rush. It's like learning to fly or falling in love. It's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen. So we find the reasons why, one step at a time. Okay, so what I mean by just take one step, you don't need a full plan. You need somewhat of a plan, but like you don't need like a full, I've sat down and like, this is my big goal, this is my little goal, this is like blah, 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 blah. That can take too much time. If that works well for you though, I'm not discouraging you to do it that way, but like you're going to figure more things out just by trying it, just do it, just by practicing your craft. If you want to learn how to draw, you just have to draw every day. That's the same with anything. If you want to get to your dream, you just have to practice your dream life every day. So what things are you doing, taking like one step to get a little closer to that dream. Yeah, and especially if it seems like a huge, overwhelming dream, like starting a business. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I know a lot of people who have, but like, and I know who can ask for help. But like, I'm just taking it one step at a time. I just looked up how to get a business license and then applied and got it. So cool. We're getting things done. Another thing to remember is that no matter what time is going to pass, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have had over 100 episodes out on this podcast if I didn't start then. That's crazy. Wow. I'm so proud of myself. That's freaking awesome. Again, it took so much trial and error. And even sometimes now I'm like, this is bad. This is not great. Am I getting my point across? I have no idea if it's being helpful. But then I get feedback from you all and you're like, no, it's helpful. So like, I'm happy for that. And I'm sorry if I go off on tangents, but I'm just so grateful for the opportunity that I have to hopefully help you move forward and to try. I think the main concept that a doer does is that they just try and they're okay with failing because they understand that failing is just a part of learning and that the faster you fail, like something's not working, the faster you can get to the way that it's going to work. So don't give up, try and then also try and take the fear out of moving forward. Don't let others influence you. Just do it for you. Do it because you want to and it's going to make you happy and it's going to bring you joy. So those are just some ideas that might help you to close the gap between thought and to action. As with most things, it's going to take practice. So your work this week is to not procrastinate 2 things. So if you have something in your life you've been procrastinating, I need you to do that thing today, right now. Get it done. So that could be as simple as, I've been needing to clean my bathroom, and just go and clean your bathroom. Or it could be, I've been wanting to learn how to play piano. So I'm going to pull up a YouTube video and find a basic way to learn piano. Or I've been wanting to go on my dream trip to New Zealand, so I'm going to do some research and see what the most cost-effective way it is going to take me to get there. And then start creating a plan from there. So see, little things that you have. So I need you to act quickly on just 2 things that you could physically do. And I hope that this helps you to become a doer, to get the things done that you want to in life. Life is lived in the moment, in this moment right now. So if you just take one step toward your dream life, that's an amazing accomplishment. Not many people do it. And so thank you for listening. And I hope this helps you move forward. And don't forget to trust your worth while you're doing it, to know that you have everything you need to get stuff done. You can do it. I promise you. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. As always, you can find me at trustyourworth.com or on Instagram at Trust Your Worth Podcast, as well as TikTok. Same thing at Trust Your Worth Podcast. You can also follow my fun page where I talk about books, movies, TV shows that I consume because I do that a lot. That's at Brittany_LELLE. Yeah, and I talked a little bit about the shop. I'm not sure when I'm launching it, but you will hear from me first, but it will be on the website, trustyourworth.com, all the good things. If no one has told you today, you have no need to fear. You have all the tools you need to accomplish anything you want to do. And don't forget to trust your worth. Okay, thanks so much for listening. Have a great day. Love you. Bye.